So I would probably say the overall topic about progression in a Forza game has probably been a pretty hot one for a straight minute. People even going back all the way to Forza Horizon 4 saying it in 5 as well, that a lot of people want real progression to finally be back. And to be honest, guys, I think Forza Horizon 6 might actually do it. Now, first things first, when you were watching the reveal of Forza Horizon 6, they did end up mentioning in there that you pretty much come into Japan, you are a tourist. You will most likely go in there, I'm guessing, kind of just touring Japan, right? And then going, oh, is that a festival? What's that about? Then you qualify and stuff like that. And I honestly, I kind of like the approach they're doing with this. Like, they're not just throwing you in there going, okay, oh, here, dude, here's a Lambo. Can you go race over there for me and do that random street race? It kind of seems like they're not taking that approach this time. Like, you basically have to go qualify, you get a wristband, which I do understand Forza Horizon 1 had the progression on that, which when I play that game, expect some videos on that because I've never played it, so I'm excited for it. And that is a big progression thing people talked about, even to this day, from Forza Horizon 1. And it seems like they are now doing it in this game, so you'll probably have like rookie, amateur, pro, or even maybe something like semi-pro, and then maybe there could be something above that to where you pretty much have to, work your way up. You start in a slower car, which is obviously the goal there. Then you have to get better cars by getting better wristbands and stuff like that. And don't worry, guys, because there's a few other things I will talk about with this, like the wheel spins and all that stuff, so do stay tuned for what I think they could do with that. I don't know if they will, but I have a pretty decent idea for it, which I feel like that could work. But there's a few things I did want to go over here that was in the Xbox Wire, which kind of talks about this a little bit more. This part right here, though, is the team knew it wanted to continue the established wristband progression system from previous Horizon games, as I was just discussing, where players rise through the ranks of the Horizon Festival to unlock better cars and higher caliber races. This is something a lot of people wanted, man. Instead of just jumping in there and you have all the races already there, you just go do them. There's like really no substance to it, man. You pick like the fastest car you have. Like when I started Forza Horizon 5, I had like some of the fastest cars already. Now, obviously, I bought the premium edition, which I'll talk about that here in a second as well, because I know that's probably a point of topic with progression. But I went in there and I was kind of just already racing like a Ferrari in different cars, as when you did just end up starting the game. I feel like players would rather have something along the lines of, oh no, dude, give me something like this older Volkswagen or this older Honda or something like that. Let me go race that. Let me go do all these section of races, right? And then after that, you get the next wristband, which is amateur. And maybe you get like a Type R and you get some other JDM type of vehicles. I don't know, do something like that. Then maybe you get like super, then you get hyper and stuff like that. And apparently they're adding like track or something like that I saw in this game as well. So maybe each wristband is probably tied to like different vehicle classes and stuff like that, which I think is probably a better way to do it. Players want to use like slower vehicles in the beginning, and that's probably the biggest thing, dude. But after that though, the next part it will say this time around though, with this new setting, Playground Games wanted to introduce another way to progress, one that gives explorers a real goal to chew on, and one that felt intrinsically tied to Japanese culture. Enter the Collection Journal, a new feature inspired by Japan's rich stamp collecting history that lets players build a digital collection of mementos discovered throughout Japan. But after that, the next part will then read, we wanted this archetypically Japanese experience, but delivered in a structured way, Ellert says. When you discover points of interest, that goes into your journal, and it generates progression towards your rank in the Horizon Festival, and your general progression in Japan. So I'm guessing what this is basically saying is you can jump in and get the wristband and do that stuff, but also you can basically go explore around Japan and level up in that aspect as well, which I would say a lot of racing games will obviously give you progress for finding roads and different things for XP, so I'm guessing this will probably be along the lines of that. But after that, guys, the journal adds a new level of value to exploration in Forza Horizon 6, linking back to that player freedom that Ellert mentioned earlier, and how these games are built for adventurers, not just petrol heads. It's also a deeply customizable experience. You can take photos of murals, landmarks, and other notable spots, and save them in your journal, adding a personal flair to your adventure. I honestly think, guys, this does sound pretty dope how they're adding another way to like progress and stuff like that on top of, progressing through the races and different things like that, which I honestly think it's a pretty cool approach to that. I'm not sure how exactly it will do it. Obviously, we can't play the game yet, so we don't really know, if you know what I'm saying. But I do feel like having the exploration in there, like you kind of have to give players that freedom in an open world. So you can go and progress, get the wristbands. You can also level up and get XP from going around and, finding stuff around the map. I do like that idea. Let me know what y'all think about that. I would probably say in an open world game, like you can always kind of go everywhere when you want to, you know what I mean? Like even in Midnight Club Los Angeles, bro. I know that's kind of a weird example, but old open world racing game, y'all know what I'm saying? You can go pretty much anywhere in that game, obviously early on as well, but you have to do the races to progress and get better stuff, obviously. So this game will end up allowing you to, from at least from the looks of this, is you can go through, and I do like how they're giving you the wristbands that way you have to drive slower cars. I really do like that a lot, guys, and I would say a lot of people are very happy to hear that. But also, if you just want to do a few races, grab one of the cars that you have or something and just drive around everywhere, it seems like you will also be able to do that. Another standpoint here, guys, with the overall progression is pretty dope. I wanted to read this off. It does talk about the new 2025 GR which is, the red car that was shown in the thing. This will then read in the first 10 minutes of the game where you get to drive the car, almost like a prelude. You get to do some off-roading in the Alps, race the Shinkansen, I think I said that right, bullet train, which I kind of expected that, and get a taste of what's to come. Right after that, then we take that all away and say, well, that's about the festival, and you're not in the festival. This brief experience with the 2025 GR prototype is aspirational, almost like a dream, and it gives you the aspiration to go out and earn that car yourself because it really is an amazing thing. So what I got from this, guys, is instead of like Forza Horizon 5 where you basically like start off in like the prologue thing, you pretty much get a crazy car right off the bat. It looks like this game is doing it a little bit differently, man. It basically goes, oh, here's our special car in the game, and then right after you drive, you're like, oh, anyway, we'll take that back from you, buddy. And you're not in the festival, bro, so you don't even get this thing. You're a tourist, so you pretty much have to go there, get into the festival. I really do like that. I think that's pretty dope. Like, gives you the thing of, oh man, I need to go over there and win races and, progress and get better so I can actually get this car. You know what I mean? That is something a lot of people are talking about, man. And that is the other thing I also did want to mention here, which I do know a lot of people have been talking about, guys, the wheel spins. We all do know Forza Horizon 6 will have wheel spins. And one thing I was noticing about it, though, is apparently in the VIP membership, it's not giving you 2 now. It's only giving you 1. At least that's what I did end up seeing something on it, which I would say you get 1, by the way, weekly, not 2. Because it does say something about a weekly super wheel spin, not 2 weekly wheel spins. You know what I'm saying? But either way, though, I feel like one way they could really fix these wheel spins, man. Now, hear me out, guys, because I know a lot of people talked about this stuff. Getting money from the wheel spins is very cool. I think that's a dope idea. Maybe they can have just money in them when you start, right? Maybe a little bit of money from the regular wheel spins. But one way I was thinking about this, though, is honestly, dude, just lock all the expensive cars in the hyper, super, whatever you want to call an expensive vehicle that you don't want early on. Make it so you can only get those farther into the game, bro. Like, maybe you can't get any of those cars in a wheel spin until you're like maybe semi-pro or something or higher up. When those cars start showing up in the game, then you can actually get a wheel spin when you're leveling up at that point in time in the game. Like, let's say like if you're leveling up a lot, you level up a ton. Even all those wheel spins you level up are still tied to the level that you are or where you are in the game itself. Y'all know what I'm saying? So if you're that far into the main festival itself, you still cannot get hypercars and different cars until you progress through it. That way those cars will start showing up in a wheel spin. Honestly, man, I feel like that's probably one of the best ways to do it. That way, the game will not have to give you, like, super expensive vehicles. You are pretty much forced to go through the entire festival, level up through the entire game, and then, boom, once you do that, you will then start getting the expensive vehicles from wheel spins. Let me know what y'all think about that, dude. I honestly feel like that could be a good way to do that, and that way, you're not going to jump into the game and in 20 minutes you turn on a wheel spin and get a Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that could be a good way to do it. Have the wheel spin set up so they're also tied to your level and where you are in the game itself. That way, when you're higher up, you'll actually be like, oh, look, I got a Lambo, but I'm also like 70% through the entire campaign now, or like aka the festival. And I don't know, dude, I kind of think that's like one of the best ways to balance it out and really fix the overall, oh no, I'm getting too many hypercars when I just started the game. Because if they have the entire thing tied to the wristbands, you pretty much have to drive slower vehicles, right? It only really makes sense for the wheel spins to not give you good stuff until you get farther into it. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think. I feel like that is definitely a way they could end up fixing it. On top of that, guys, a lot of people, I think Black Panther was mentioning this as well, how he was like, maybe I don't want to get the higher premium edition because of what it does end up giving you. Apparently, when you have the VIP membership, guys, it will give you 2 times credit boost in the races. You'll get 3 VIP exclusive Forza Edition cars, which obviously I think a lot of people want some of the cars, I would probably guess. And you apparently get some other special items. Also, a special house as well that's in Tokyo City. That I definitely want to see, man. So a lot of players might want the house, but maybe they don't want all the other stuff. Like, maybe you don't want the double money, bro. Maybe you legit want to start from the bottom, and honestly, I'm kind of like that, dude. What I was doing in Forza Horizon 3 and 4 is, well, I mean, I had awful wheel spin luck in the games anyway, so I wasn't getting good vehicles most of the time, or basically at all. So I was pretty much using the cars the game did end up giving me and stuff like that. I never used the expensive cars until I got to that point in the game. And I really do feel like if they did that with the wheel spins, bro, they would definitely make a lot more people happier. But with that, though, maybe they could make it so you could turn off the double money boost thing you get with the VIP. I don't know, dude, because a lot of people definitely want to have some type of progression. That's like it's a big conversation in racing games, dude. People want to have progression in these games. They actually want to feel like they're starting from no one. And I feel like Forza Horizon 6 will actually have that foundation, dude. You go there as a tourist, you don't even know what anything is. You're like, oh, what is this festival thing? Let me go qualify. You actually beat it. You get the rookie wristband. Guess what? You're driving slow vehicles, okay? You're a rookie, bro. You ain't gonna be driving no Lambo. So if you're not driving a Lambo in the rookie rank, a wheel spin should not give you a Lamborghini. Y'all know what I'm saying? Maybe they could have cars tied to that. Like, oh, you're a rookie, so, oh, here, dude, here's an old Volkswagen, or here's an old Honda. Oh, here's a lower level BMW. I don't know, dude. I feel like there's ways they can tie all this stuff together into the progression. Then on top of all of that, we also have like the exploration standpoint and all that stuff that we could drive around, grab photos and different things on top of doing everything else. I don't know. It's just something I'm thinking about, guys. I really do feel like this game will actually bring a sense of progression back. I really do feel that way, especially after playing Forza Horizon 3, man. That game for me really had a sense of progression. 4 honestly did not, and obviously 5 doesn't. I have not played 2 and 1 yet, so I can't judge those, dude. But this has been pretty much one of the biggest requests, and not only Forza, but basically any racing game at all, dude. People like starting from nowhere. That was probably a reason why a lot of people like Need for Speed, because you start off in like an older car, then you have to go through the levels and stuff in like a B-ranked vehicle, which is obviously very slow. You have to go win those races, get money, level through the campaign to get better vehicles. Or like MCLA, where you have to pick like an older car, like the 240SX, drive that a bit, upgrade it, try to get through the ranks, then buy a better car or something like that, dude. Do like pink slip races. I really do feel like a lot of that stuff can tie in together, and that's something a lot of players really do want, man. And to be honest, I agree. I'm also kind of on the fence. I kind of don't want the double money boost and stuff like that. I wouldn't say the one super wheel spin a week is a bad thing. I think that's actually a good thing they only give you one, because people were complaining and going, oh, look, I got on the game with 300 wheel spins. Well, bro, you didn't play the game for like 5 months. Of course you're going to have wheel spins if you bought the VIP thing. Am I right? I guess only time will tell, guys. More information will probably be shown on this in the future. Stay tuned, because I will be going over if they do like a stream or show more information, because I am also very interested in this. But so far, though, I do like how they give you like a glimpse of driving the GR-GT. Then they're like, oh, nope, we'll take that back, bro. Anyway, go into this car and go explore stuff and then head over to that festival thing, because you're just touring Japan, then you discover it. I do like this idea. And I feel like a lot of people definitely are excited to see how they structure this even more when the game does end up coming out.